What's up, man? It's the Fly Roadside Guy checking in one time for the one. You know how we do. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you new. Sitting here today on New Year's Eve and just left the truck, just left the yard, man, and cleaned out my truck a little bit. And for the most part, just because I'm coming into a new year, we coming into a new year, is a saying out now that life just be lifing. And you just gotta just remember to stay focused. Stay focused on your goals, whatever that goal is. You know what I'm saying? You know, People tend to want to make New Year's resolutions and things of that nature. If that's what you want to do that as well. But always remember to just try to stay focused, even when life is lifing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta reset. Um, I made a previous video about pivoting. Sometimes you even gotta pivot. Make a career change, career switch. So anybody out there looking to get their CDL, looking to get into trucking, any owner operators, any company drivers that's already trucking as we speak, you know, just remember to stay focused on whatever that goal is that you got, in mind, and just keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, life be lifing. Um, I don't want to be in a truck forever, so at the end of the day, I'm always thinking of other avenues to make money, um, other ways to work for myself and be independent, and scale my business. So sometimes whatever you got to do, you just got to do that. Just stay focused on your goal. Like I say, I was at my truck earlier, clean my truck out, so to speak, clean house, clean my interior. Um, I do got to wash my truck, but it's a little cold. Like I said, it's New Year's Eve. Um, do got a job that we got starting back up January 5th, so I got some time, wash my truck, grease it up, and everything like that. But, went through my toolbox, clean house, swept it out, and a lot of times, that dirt and dust will build up in the truck. So keep in mind, man, keeping your truck clean is the way to go, man. Because even when it comes to the maintenance, um, when you're in the dump truck business, you don't want to neglect cleaning the truck, like the inside and the outside. Like I said, that's why I know I got to wash my truck, man, because a lot of that old material can get caked up, and that's why a pressure washer is needed in the dump truck business. So like I said, clean my truck out, organize my toolbox, got rid of some stuff I didn't need, trash and debris that was lingering. Um, Went through some of my receipts because it's the end of the year. Like I said, I was actually going through my wallet. I had actually took out a business card from one of my owner operators. He's not one of my owner operators, but an owner operator that was on a job with me. I got his business card for, like, networking purposes, you know, job opportunities. Like I said, you can never, never stop, networking. So as I pulled out his business card, I was on the phone with one of my partners, and I was letting him know. I said, man, yeah, taking out that business card reminded me that I actually got to order some more business cards. So, like I say, the New Year's upon us. Um, that's one of the things I got on my checklist of things to do. Ordering some more business cards, putting out my information, more of my information, because when you're out on job sites, and sometimes you meet random people that will see you, um, and ask you, for work, and that's the good thing. You always want to be accessible. So I ran out of business cards. So that that alone, me taking out clearinghouse, going through my paperwork and stuff, just reminded me like, yeah, I gotta order my business cards. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I gotta stay focused. So, I got things written down, things that you need to do. Um, and that's another thing that I wanted to mention because I got like things that I've written down in the past of maintenance and things that I need to do because sometimes I'll forget. Life be life, and like I said, so this video is about staying focused. Like, let's see here. Here is a list of things that I wrote down. As you see, like it literally says, as of March 25th, the maintenance that I needed as of March 25th, 2025. Oil change, air filter replacement, grease my chassis, replace my headlight, backup alarm, do my brake check adjustment. I needed 4 rear tires, check my hydraulic fluid, wiper blades. I needed my sideboards, blower motor because my heat and my AC was out. Um, I needed an ICP sensor. I needed another antenna because both my antennas got knocked off by some trees while I was out on the job or just riding down the road. Um, and I needed alignment and I needed my power steering to be checked out. And that was of March 25th of this year. And some of those things got checked off. Took care of my oil change, did my air filter, greased it, got a new headlight. Um, I have yet to get my backup alarm. Did my brake check, got my 4 tires replaced, did my hydraulic fluid. Haven't replaced my wiper blades. Haven't replaced my boards. Haven't got my blower motor. I did get my ICP sensor. I have that, but I haven't replaced it. So, that has to be done. But I do have the part. Um, haven't got my antennas replaced yet. But like I said, it's a scale of things, of priorities, and I haven't got my alignment done on that. Um, so things I've checked off on this list right here, as you see, boom, checked off. You know what I mean? And this was a list made of as of like September the 30th. I know that's how old it is, but sometimes these things you gotta do, and I just pulled it out, out of my notebook because I got, I try to stay organized amongst other things, but like I say, life be life, and you gotta stay focused. You know what I mean? Remember what the goal is. Um, so like I said, I mean, as of September, I needed another oil change. Got that done. Needed air filters replaced. Got that done. Don't have my fuel filter. Got to replace my fuel filter. ICP sensor, took care of that. I need a power steering reservoir, so that was the issue of my power steering. But I got it priced out, so I got my prices taken care of. It's going to be $430 for that power steering reservoir. Plus, I need a hose, but the hose is going to be minor. I need a new tarp. You know what I mean? I want to get an asphalt tarp. You know what I mean? Haven't got that done, but I have priced it out. Um, Thought about getting my brakes checked because my ABS light was coming on and off, saying I had an ABS module issue. Had a triangle light display on my dashboard. Those of you who have international trucks, y'all know how the glitches in those internationals be. And the triangle lights, it could be a headache. But any warning light coming on your dash as a trucker is gonna make you just be like, it's gonna raise your temperature for real, for real. You know what I mean? No trucker wants to be driving and then the damn shit start beeping and you got a warning light pop up on your dash. So, gotta handle my PTO, washer fluid. Still need my blower motor taken care of. Still need my wiper blades. Still need my sideboard. So there you have it, and that was of September. But those are things that, you just gotta keep track of. Stay focused, you know what I mean? Don't let it, hinder you. Just be mindful because the maintenance is never gonna stop, in the dump truck business. Never gonna stop in the dump truck business. And one thing that I'm gonna try to adapt moving forward, I am this is my 5th year in business, so I'm gonna pat myself on the back for real. But I'm going to start trying to we in the customer service at the end of the day. So when you are an owner operator and you working for yourself and you running your own business, you are providing a service for a customer. Um, and my customers could be whether it's a side job, whether it's my contractors that I'm working for, whether it's the crew or the company that has the job, and etc. So we still in the customer service based industry, although we're in construction and we're truckers and we're doing a dump truck and we're hauling. But I want to start utilizing, just the 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 reinforce what was already instilled in me when I was running my stores in automotive. Because it was times that I would want to acquire business, whether it was through AutoZone, Napa, O'Reilly's, um, you know, different part suppliers, and vice versa. They would, call me up to say, hey, how can we get your business? Um, if you ordered, $500 worth of parts with us today, we'll buy you and your crew lunch, you know, those things, and me being on both ends because I ran a store and then at one point I was running a commercial parts department where, you know, I would want, you know, those garages or those stores to, order parts from me, for vice versa. So I know how the business transaction work. We in commerce, and at the end of the day, it's all about providing good customer service. So moving forward, you, at the end of the day, I've received, gift cards, even from truck movers. Hey, thank you for your service this year. So I'm gonna, send out gift cards as well. Thank you cards. Hey, buy your contractor some donuts. I'm gonna, you know, hey, you feed me some work. Hey, what y'all want to eat? I'll buy y'all some pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it's not really a kissing ass thing. It's just, at the end of the day, if your contractors, if your customers are going to extend work, you know, you just, hey, buy them lunch. I mean, one of my mechanics hooked me up. You know what I mean? Got me in and out. I was able to go on the job that same day. He took care of me. You know, hey, here you go $20, man, for lunch. You know what I'm saying? On top of what I paid him. You know what I'm saying? So, or in that case, I didn't pay him, but we had to charge it off to um, the company who had kind of damaged my truck. But at the end of the day, I still took care of him. You know what I'm saying? You know. I don't know. I thought that was my homeboy. But anyway, man, scratch my back. Scratch his back. It's business, man. B2B. You know, customer to consumer, consumer to customer. At the end of the day, man, maybe that is my homeboy. I don't know. Yeah, it is. So I'm gonna wrap this video up, man. But like I say, that's all I wanted to tell y'all, man. Is life be life, man. You just gotta stay focused, man. Keep your eye on the prize. Happy New Year, man. To all my truckers out there, man. Stay safe. Keep trucking. Like and subscribe, man. It's the Fly Roadside Guy, man. Them tune out, man. You will be living up.